Greetings, fellow conquerors. This is darkfireslide, and welcome back to the Pirates of Pomerania here in EU4 version 1.12.2. 1.12.2, not 12.2. Version 12. Here we go. Of EU4. Jeez, that would be pretty crazy, wouldn't it? Okay, so we have an interesting situation developing here. It would appear that the Teutonic Order is actually somehow defeating the Polish. I don't know how this is possible. This never happens. But here we are. This is the world we live in. But, you know, there's a couple of really interesting things that we're, thinking about as we're playing this version of the game. First of all, the coalition cap is way lower. Like, taking these two provinces, we actually almost got a coalition on us. Let's see. Well, the Emperor certainly wants us to give back this province, and obviously we're not going to do that because we just took, like, 21 development. That's, like, nothing in the later patches. Like, later patches, you can take, like, something like, oh, I don't know, 40 development before you get a coalition. Man, they made the game easier, didn't they? I'm just kidding, of course. Now, we are losing money, unfortunately, because of reasons. Namely that we have an army that is over the force limit by 1, so we are going to go ahead and delete a unit because we can't really sustain that. Now, where things get a little bit interesting here is, first of all, our ally Bohemia has a very, very low opinion of us for an ally who, I mean, granted, we do have a negative 50 malice right now because we have a bunch of unlawful territory. Oops. But we are going to stop improving relations with Poland because Poland is about to be become a lot smaller. It would appear. Now, we'll see, because it is possible that they make a comeback. It does look like Poland did win a battle. Now, the unfortunate thing is, by taking land from Brandenburg, we have caused a pretty sizable chunk of aggressive expansion with pretty much all our neighbors. So this is going to be, it's going to take a while for us to change here. And this is something I forgot about, the balance of this version of the game, is that coalitions happen much more quickly, and we're just like a lot harder to deal with in general. Now, that being said, we are going to lower our army maintenance just a bit. And worry as these Brandenburgian separatists pop up. One thing I didn't even notice about the UI here is that it doesn't even tell us in this version of the game when the rebels are expected to pop up, and in the actual stability tab, we can't see what the size of the actual rebellion is going to be. So, just some very, very interesting things that we're kind of worried about here. Now let's see, the Teutonic Order is allied with Sweden, and Denmark appears to be losing his war with Sweden. So we may have an independent Sweden very soon here, and independent Sweden is a good thing for us because it makes Denmark much, much easier to attack. Let's see, Stralsund. So we can either gain 40% autonomy or spend 30 admin. We're going to spend 30 admin, because we don't want to lose all of our worldly possessions. One thing we could do to kind of help our economy a little bit here is by deleting our military advisor, but in doing that, we would lose a couple of pretty important things. However, it would appear Mecklenburg is in 3 wars, because he's allied with the Teutonic Order, who would not honor an alliance call at all. But unfortunately, we can't really do anything because of all that aggressive expansion that we just got. So it's going to be very, very slow expansion, I think. And one thing we may focus on, really, is just trying to sort of, you know, play tall a little bit and just build up our provinces. Sure, you get a military access. Why not? Now, who are you in wars with? The Verdner conquest of Hanover and the Oldenburgian conquest of Hoya. So it doesn't look like, wow, those Brandenburg separatists are rising up pretty quickly. I shouldn't be surprised that they're rising up so quickly, but they are. You know, I forgot to core these provinces from the last episode, but in my defense, at least we aren't paying extra admin to get them cored in the first place. That is a bit of a it's a terrible mistake on my part, though. That's really bad. You know, I think one reason I forgot is because in the newer versions of the game, we have that nice banner that tells us, hey, you need to core some provinces. You have provinces that can be cored. Now, one thing we have to be very, very careful about is that, like, fabricating claims in this version of the game generates aggressive expansion. And 5 aggressive expansion generated could be terrible for us, honestly. So, we definitely want to be just extremely cautious as we continue to play here. And because, you know, some wars we may fight and end up taking, like, 1 province, 2 provinces, something like that. The Teutonic Order is beginning to lose his war against Poland, but however, his allies Mecklenburg and Sweden would both join, even though Sweden is in an independence war, which is kind of crazy. However, it would appear that Bohemia is starting to like us again. Unlawful territory goes away so slowly. In fact, it's not even a full 1 per year, just a measly 0.9 decay per year. So every unlawful province is 25 years of negative opinion. That's just crazy. That's so much. I haven't played the HRE in the current version of the game in so long that, man, I forget what it's like. Now we do have these Brandenburgian separatists that we are somewhat worrying about here. Could be a problem. Alright, Brandenburg has declared war on the Teutonic Order, so they're just going to go for it. I, myself, would love to try to take Danzig, but I don't know that we have... the military strength, and in particular... well, first of all, none of the Teutonic Order's allies are even really in existence anymore, so I am going to go ahead and fabricate the claim. Especially because none of this is unlawful territory, and the aggressive expansion generated by this is a lot less. Okay, we have our separatists, who are terrifying, who we barely won against, who drain us of 4,500 manpower, and who now run the risk of stack wiping our army. Oh, man. But we've cored Berlin at least, so that's nice. We have a conundrum here. If we stay in this province, we get a bit of a defensive bonus. On the other hand, they have a 10 stack. So even though we have a 1-4 general here, this is dicey. This is really dicey. I don't like this. But we're gonna hold our ground because that's the better strategic decision here. We've accepted Saxon because Berlin is such a big province, so that's nice. Okay, here comes the attack. Now we have a 1-4. They have no general. That gives us a huge advantage, especially when they're at such a malice here. Okay, we could gain prestige. We have no papal influence, so I'm just going to get the prestige. Alright, so fire phase doesn't really matter. Shock phase is where it's going to get a little bit ugly, but we have a 9 total versus a 2. We are killing them 2-1, and that other infantry just joined the fray, so I think we're going to get out of this just fine. Just fine. Okay, we've done it. And this infantry that we've recruited can go away. Okay, go. Shoo, and then we've taken back the province, so everything is looking just fine. We haven't been caught yet fabricating this claim on Danzig, which is quite nice. It may give us an opportunity to steal and snag that province before things get too ugly here. If we do that, though, we will of course be looking for an ally very, very soon who we can rely on. Of course, Poland might just take this province before we're able to do anything, so... Now, we are a little bit worried that Brandenburg might take some land from Mecklenburg here. And Saxe-Lauenburg would appear to be declaring for land themselves, so Mecklenburg's getting divided up pretty quickly here. But Uckermark and Berlin are now both core provinces with rebels that have been soundly quashed. Now, one interesting thing to note is that in this version of the game, recent uprising is only a -20 to local unrest. So if you have a high enough amount of unrest in a province, defeating a rebellion can actually not completely get rid of the rebels, which is just kind of insane. Oh, also we're going to delete this fort in Berlin and save us like a ducat a month. But we can kick the speed back up, and our claim on Danzig is, getting close to finished. And we may be able to just besiege the province and take it for ourselves. Now, we do still have about 20 aggressive expansion with a lot of the HRE. And that is pretty dangerous as things go. Now, Danzig itself has no fort. And Bohemia would definitely not be willing to join a war. So, this is going to be a little bit risky. We may not be able to take this province in this war. We may just have to, bide our time a little bit. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to declare this war on the Teutonic Order. We're going to claim, with the claim of Danzig. We're going to go besiege Danzig and loot it. And this is important because then Poland can't take it in the war. And if Poland hates us, well, it doesn't really matter because, A, we have Bohemia as an ally. And honestly, we should probably look into getting Hungary as an ally, but I don't think they would be even remotely interested. Actually, no, they would be remotely interested, and that's perfect. Because honestly, between Bohemia, Hungary, and ourselves... Oh, the Teutonic Order crushed our trade ships. Whoops. We will advance to military tech 4. And we're just going to continue looting Danzig. Because, yes, we're getting 1.39 ducats a month, and 10.57 remains. So, quite useful, I would say. I don't believe that the Teutonic Order has any troops left. So, who knows? This could be a suicidal venture, or it could be a really profitable one. Let's see. We'll spend 25 admin rather than making our population mad and getting autonomy. Now, this is, of course, a really risky move, but I think it's justified in the potential benefits. But I don't know where the Teutonic stack was retreating to. We can repay one of our loans with some of this looted Teutonic gold, and I'm okay with that. And the Teutons' land is just being carved up in all different ways. Now, unfortunately, we are getting a pretty massive war score loss from the fact that they are blockading our entire country, more or less. But we are getting a ticking war score from owning Danzig. Hopefully enough that we can actually take it. Now, Because we occupy it, Poland can't actually take it in the peace deal, and that's perfect for us because we would really, really like to get this province because it's just, you know, it's a farmland. It's really easy to develop. It's got 16 development base, and one thing I am worried about is that that could be coalition worthy. So we're just going to be looking out for that, but we'll see. All right, the Livonian Order has announced Pomerania as a new rival. That's fine. Poland is friendly towards us, which is good because they'll be willing to give us military access. And now we can go besiege some of the Teutonic Order's land. Which we're going to have to do, because we need to get actual war score. We will, of course, be watching out for their armies. And hopefully some of the Teutonic Order's other enemies will kind of block them from coming back and taking Danzig. Also, they're probably about out of money at this point, so there's not really much that they can do. You know, if they had fewer men, I would be willing to attack this garrison, but the siege is progressing pretty normally, pretty well. And I think that we're going to be able to get this province, hopefully, fingers crossed, without a coalition, because obviously that would be pretty terrible if we got a coalition. If we did have the threat of a coalition, I think our response would be to just straight up ally Poland because they're friendly towards us. However, we are currently working on an alliance with Hungary, who I believe would be more than willing to ally us as soon as we finish this war, basically. Let's see, one thing I will do in the meantime, I think I can send an infantry to go besiege this province real quick, and that'll give us a little bit more war score to work with. Let's see. Looks like we can get a market. We can get Diplotech 4. That's good. That's what we want. All right, we won a siege, and I'm not sure how much we have to do here. Let's see. We can get 13.4 more war score. Now, how much? Let's see. Here we go. I don't know why it was set on opinions, but let's see. To get Danzig, first of all, it wouldn't even be that much aggressive expansion, which I'm surprised by. We could potentially take Ermland over here as well, although taking that would be probably inadvisable because we don't actually have a good way to get there if Poland hates us, so that may just be something we let go. Now, to get Danzig, we only need a little bit more reasons, so not really in a bad place at all. Alright, they would actually be willing to accept, and I don't think they have any money left, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish this war real quick, take Danzig, and there we go. 6 aggressive expansion, nothing too big to worry about, and certainly no coalitions, which is obviously very important. And then we're going to go ahead and core this province. 157 admin, 17 months, and we now have Danzigian separatists. Now, incredibly, Mecklenburg has not, like, lost any land yet. I don't know how this is humanly possible, but that's how things work around here, I guess. Now, Hungary would be willing to accept an alliance with us. I don't think Austria would ever want an alliance with us, but Hungary, I think, would make for a pretty good ally, and Muscovy actually would be a pretty good ally as well. If we can get all 3 of these together, Poland is basically on the table, ready to be carved, so to speak. Especially since Poland hates all these people. So I think we try this. I think that's what we try to do here. We get some really big allies. We have no diplomats to send, but we will go ahead, get in alliance with Muscovy like we want. Muscovy is allied with Denmark, which could be problematic at a later point. But for now, Poland hates our guts, which is fine, because we're going to start fabricating claims on them, and we really, really, really just want to eat Poland now. I think that's our primary goal, because eating Poland is a way to expand out of the HRE, get a little bit more power, and once we have that power, we can start using that to expand along the coast like we wanted to in the first place. So, I will go ahead and marry Hungary. I think that's a good idea. All right, we're gonna chill out for a little bit though, because our aggressive expansion is still pretty high. We do have to worry about getting aggressive expansion from fabricating claims, and the fact that the coalition cap is 30 in this is it's very much it's a more interesting stipulation, because in in newer EU4 it's so easy to avoid coalitions that it's almost never an issue. But I guess enough people complained about it that it was eventually willed out of existence. Now, the Danzigian separatists appear to be rising up very, very slowly, and it's possible we may be able to avoid a revolution or rebellion altogether. But I guess we're going to find out in the next episode, because that's going to be the end for this one. If you're enjoying the series so far, let me know. And if you have any counsel for me in this version of the game, please let me know in the comments, and we can talk about it, discuss it, and let me know what direction we should take the series. Do you think my plan to take Poland is good, or should we bide our time, be a little bit more aggressive towards members of the HRE? Give me your thoughts. And until next time, Godspeed, and I'll see you on the next one.